One Sunday morning in the year 2000, two gentlemen walked into our temple. One was Mohandas Pai, Director Finance of Infosys Technologies, and his close friend from school days, Abhay Jain. And they talked to us about the temple that we had just then inaugurated about 3 years ago, and the large number of people who were coming to the temple. And they said that large number of people are coming and you're feeding all the people who come to the temple. And they seeded a thought, if we can also be involved in certain social development activities. They talked about a few things like distributing sewing machines to women and computer training to young people and all of those kind of things. And they also talked about the midday meal program of Tamil Nadu. And they said, Swamiji, think over, we will come back after a few weeks. So they were important people, so we had to have something to tell them after a few weeks. At that time, we reflected on an interesting anecdote in the life of Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON. Somewhere in the 1970s, he was opening a temple of Krishna in some part of the country. And on that particular day of inauguration of the temple, large number of guests had come, hundreds and thousands, and a big feast was served to all of them. And after the feast, Srila Prabhupada was in his room talking to a few guests with him. Suddenly he heard children screaming and dogs barking. He walked up to the window and he saw there poor village children shooing away dogs to get a morsel of food among the leaf plates that were strewn there after the feast. Srila Prabhupada was a very compassionate person. He felt strongly for the pain of others. There were tears in his eyes. He called the leaders of ISKCON at that time and he said, we have inaugurated a temple of Krishna here. We have invited Krishna here. Krishna is the father of everyone. Where there is father, the children should not be hungry. At that time, he gave a mandate. No one should go hungry in a 10-mile radius of a temple, especially children. Inspired by these anecdotes and a few other instructions of his, we quickly started the midday meal program, feeding about 1,500 children in 5 schools in Bangalore, on the outskirts of Bangalore city. But then, the nature of our country, we are a very big country with a big population and big problems. And if you want to create any impact, the most important thing is to scale up the program, or else we are barely scratching the surface of the problem. And that's how we kept expanding our program, going to different places. And today, we are serving 17 lakh children every day in 12 states of the country in 36 different locations. And to scale up to this degree, we had to use technology. In the last 18 years, we have developed a kind of a specialization where we can set up large kitchen infrastructure like this, which can prepare meals for about 25,000 children, or 50,000 children, or even 1 lakh children. We have large cauldrons specially made for our requirement to cook rice for about 1,000 students in under 15 minutes. And the entire handling is done in such a hygienic manner to ensure food safety and hygiene. I have a small video clip of the rice cooking section in our kitchen in Jaipur. We use industrial steam generators that accelerates the cooking process. And these cauldrons also have a gear mechanism by which it tilts. And the rice is emptied into a stainless steel trolley. and from the trolley into a large stainless steel tank, and from the tank into the container that actually goes to the school. So you can see that there is very minimum human touch and handling to ensure high degree of food safety. We also have large cauldrons like this to prepare sambar, dal for about 6,000 students in 2 hours. Actually, you cannot make out from this image. The cauldrons are fairly big, about 2 people can get into it. Of course, we don't let anyone get in. And it was relatively easy in South India to manage rice, sambar, and curds. And when we went to the north, we had to provide chapatis or rotis. We went around and found that something that was closest to roti making was papad making machine, and they were making about 3,000 papads per hour. But you know, roti and papads are not the same. So we invested in 3 different manufacturers of these roti machines, papad machines, to modify it, to make them into roti making machines. 2 of them failed, 1 succeeded, and he made a machine that was able to make 10,000 rotis per hour. In the next few years, we further modified and worked on it, improved on it, and we now have a machine that can make 40,000 rotis per hour. I'll show you a small video clip of the roti making machine in Vrindavan, Mathura, Uttar Pradesh. This is the wheat flour kneading machine, and this also has a tilting mechanism, and the dough is fed into the hopper of the machine. There are a series of rollers, and between these rollers it is pressed and comes out like a thick fabric. And then it is die cut and transferred onto a heated metal conveyor, and then it gets cooked on one side. It flips over to a second conveyor and gets cooked on the second side. And there is a third mesh conveyor where it directly comes in contact with fire and puffs up, just like the rotis and the fulkas that our mothers make. The unused portion of the dough is fed back into the hopper of the machine, and it is reused. This machine was specially made for our requirement. It is about 30 feet long, and at the far end of the machine, you can see women collecting the hot rotis. And to keep them soft and also to make them tasty, we also apply oil. And in our new machine, we have an automatic oil sprinkler. These rotis are put into the container, and they are weighed, and now they are ready to be taken to the schools. They come out of the kitchen to the loading bay. We also have conveyor belts and different kinds of things like this, because we have to handle a large quantity of food in a short time. And these vessels are carried in these kind of custom-built vehicles to take them to the school in a radius of about 25 kilometers. All over the country, we have a fleet of about 600 plus vehicles, some of them smaller than this, some of them even bigger than this, depending on the road conditions, to ensure children have a good, healthy, nutritious, and tasty meal every day. The impact of the program has been multifold, and one important impact is that to reduce classroom hunger. We consider this as a very strategic intervention. The government is actually spending crores of rupees on infrastructure, uniform, textbooks, salaries of the teachers. And after all that expense, if the child comes to the classroom and the child is hungry, he will not have a learning experience. So a small investment in the form of a meal makes all of the other investment the government is making more productive. So this is the first impact. And the second impact is that teachers don't have to worry about the meal program, and they can focus on the academics. School enrollment has gone up as a result of this program. School attendance has improved. Dropout rate in classes have come down. Classroom performance has improved, and the nutritional status of the students has also improved. In fact, in the last few years, we have recognized another important dimension of impact and engagement this program has been having. We call it the Dream Project. Basically, this is to look for dreamers among these children who come from underprivileged families and to mentor them. We came across one girl in a school in Bangalore. Her father was a driver in a public transport company. And while she watched television in her house, or while she was riding her bicycle to the school, she had developed an aspiration to become an actress. So we tied up with Bangalore School of Speech and Drama and mentored her so that she can perform. Already she has given a few performances, and we shall continue to mentor her till she achieves her dream. We came across another boy, son of construction workers, and he also had an unusual dream that he wanted to become a chef. So we tied up with Taj Vivanta, and for the first time he entered a star hotel, and the executive chef there soon acquainted him with the kitchen, and in a few weeks of training he became quite a confident chef. And now Taj School of Hotel Management has offered him admission already, and they are very confident that we can groom him to become a world-class chef. We have also tied up with a robotics company in Bangalore, and they went around to some of the schools, government schools, and they got the children excited about robotics and new technologies like that. And you can see the children and the brightness on their face. So basically, we want to identify hundreds and thousands of dreamers all over the country and mentor them. Last year, we identified 100. This year, we are going to do 300 all over the country. Now, in other words, Akshaya Patra is not just filling bellies with food, but actually fueling the dreams of these children. In order to involve young people like you, and in colleges and in corporates and business houses, we have created another initiative called Aikya, a youth social development initiative, where young people like you can spend time with these children. Actually, we have realized children all over the country, they are very, very talented. It is just that they don't have the right ecosystem. They don't have the right kind of opportunities to blossom. So we want to create these kind of opportunities and mentor them, inspire them, teach them English so that they will be more self-confident. Remember, if there is a car driver who can speak in English language, he will get much more salary than a car driver who cannot speak English language. So inspire them and equip them with a few skills, and also with some other activities, entertainment and other things, so that they become more inspired in their lives. So this is the purpose of Aikya, to ignite, inspire, and motivate children to unravel the talents in them. In conclusion, the vision of Akshaya Patra is, no child in India shall be deprived of education because of hunger. Today, we are serving 17 lakh children every day in about 14,000 plus government schools. Our aspiration is to touch 50 lakh children every day. We have an even bigger aspiration, and that is, in a few years from now, we look forward for a day when we can close down Akshaya Patra, because all the children can be, our country will be free from poverty, all the parents can take care of their children, so that we don't need to exist. So in other words, we don't want to be a self-serving program and organization thriving on and celebrating the miseries of our country, but we want to celebrate the joy and happiness in our country. Thank you very much.